Ladies and gentlemen, something that just happens overnight. It's a journey, and often it starts with self-doubt. For many women, this journey can feel uniquely complex, shaped by societal expectations, personal experiences, and the doubts we inherit or develop over time. Today, let's explore how we can move from that familiar feeling of not being enough to a space where we embrace our worth unapologetically. Self-doubt is something many women know all too well. It can sneak into our thoughts when we least expect it, questioning our abilities, our decisions, and even our worth. It might show up in the workplace when you're about to pitch an idea, or it might appear in personal relationships, leaving you second-guessing if you're deserving of love and respect. This doubt doesn't come out of nowhere. It's often a mix of past experiences, external feedback, and societal pressures that stack up over time. And the hardest part? Self-doubt can feel like a safe, familiar space. We believe if we prepare for the worst, we'll never be disappointed. But here's the catch: living in self-doubt is like walking in circles. It feels like progress, but you're not moving forward. If there's one thing that stops us from embracing confidence, it's the fear of failure. For so many women, there's a deep-rooted belief that perfection is the standard. And so we hold ourselves back, fearing that if we don't meet every expectation, we'll fall short, and people will see us as less than. But the truth is, growth doesn't come from getting things right all the time. It comes from stepping out, facing fears, and sometimes failing, because even in failure, we learn and evolve. When we begin to see failure as a stepping stone rather than a dead end, our fear of it loses its power. We start to realize that making mistakes doesn't define us, it refines us. Each misstep can become a building block in our path to confidence. So how do we start this journey from doubt to confidence? It begins with small acts of courage. Often confidence is built in moments when we take small steps forward, even if we don't feel entirely ready. Imagine a job interview. You might feel nervous, worried you're not the best candidate, but showing up despite that nervousness is a step toward confidence. Over time, these small acts add up. They teach us resilience and remind us that we are capable. When we keep showing up, we're practicing confidence, slowly building a foundation that stands strong even when doubts creep in. One of the most important aspects of gaining confidence is learning to embrace your voice. Many of us have been conditioned to speak softly, to take up as little space as possible, and to avoid confrontation. But confidence requires that we claim our voice, that we recognize the value in our thoughts, our experiences, and our words. When we speak up, we make room for others to listen, and in doing so, we begin to see ourselves as people who deserve to be heard. This doesn't mean being loud or aggressive. It means speaking with intention, with clarity, and with respect. Every time we speak up, we challenge the internal narrative that we should remain silent. And in that challenge, we find strength. It's also vital to cultivate self-compassion. We are often our harshest critics, tearing ourselves down for things we would forgive in others. But true confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about accepting ourselves, flaws and all. When we learn to treat ourselves with kindness, we begin to see our worth not as something that fluctuates based on success or failure, but as something innate. We start to understand that we are deserving of love and respect simply because we exist. This self-compassion doesn't just soften our self-talk, it builds a core of resilience that allows us to weather criticism from others too. Now, one of the best ways to maintain this self-confidence is by surrounding yourself with people who uplift you. Relationships play a crucial role in shaping our self-image. Surround yourself with people who support your growth, who celebrate your achievements, and who remind you of your worth even when you doubt it. Seek out mentors, friends, and allies who encourage you to be the best version of yourself, who remind you of your strengths, and who hold you accountable for your own growth. Having a network of supportive people can be a powerful reminder that we're not in this journey alone. Lastly, let's talk about authenticity. For so many women, there's pressure to mold ourselves into what society expects, what our families expect, or what we think we should be. But real confidence doesn't come from meeting others' expectations. It comes from knowing and accepting who we truly are. When we embrace our authenticity, we align our actions, our goals, and our values. We live with integrity, which in turn breeds confidence because we are no longer living a version of ourselves that feels like a facade. When we start to trust our own judgment, to value our own opinions, and to accept our unique quirks and qualities, we become unshakable. We no longer seek validation from others because we found it within ourselves. In this journey, there will be setbacks. There will be moments of doubt, times when you question everything, days when self-confidence feels like an impossible mountain to climb. And that's okay. Progress isn't linear. What matters is that we keep going, that we keep believing in our worth, even on the days when it feels hard. Confidence is like a muscle. It strengthens with use. Every time you stand up for yourself, every time you choose to be kind to yourself, every time you take a risk or speak your truth, you're building that muscle. Over time, it becomes second nature. To every woman here, know that self-confidence isn't a gift given to a lucky few. It's a journey available to all of us. It starts with acknowledging our doubts, stepping out of our comfort zones, embracing our voices, practicing self-compassion, surrounding ourselves with support, and above all, living authentically. We don't need permission to be confident. We don't need approval to feel worthy. We only need the courage to step forward, to trust ourselves, and to keep going even when the path feels uncertain. So as you leave here today, remember that confidence isn't about being unafraid. It's about moving forward despite the fear. It's about believing in yourself not because you're flawless, but because you're resilient. Each one of you holds a well of strength that runs deeper than you know. Embrace it, nurture it, and remember that the path from self-doubt to self-confidence isn't a destination, it's a journey. A journey that will keep transforming you, empowering you, and leading you closer to the woman you are meant to be.